Mike, I was wondering when we were talking about aborting on the landing on the moon, about that moment when docking took place. I thought at the news conference here in Houston earlier last week, it kind of glossed over this episode maybe a little bit of the problem in docking. I was thinking of it more from a human standpoint, your own standpoint. Here you were, you're the guardian angel over this whole operation, and that docking has got to come, right? And you've been sitting there really kind of up for the game. You're going to go in and kick that field goal, on that last minute. And here in that last minute, suddenly, your foot would seem to slip.
Not quite that important.
I mean, did you feel that way at all?
I think more the feeling of you finally grabbed a hold of this errant child, and now he's kicking and struggling a little bit, and you know you still have him, but you haven't quite gotten him into the bathtub yet. It's more of that feeling. It was a minor thing, a surprise, but a matter really of very little importance. There just was a small gyration or oscillation which developed between the two vehicles, which was a surprise, due, I think, primarily to the fact that for the first time we had an extremely light LEM, and the dynamics of the two vehicles were somewhat different than we would have expected. But as I say, it was not a major problem in any sense.
Well, you said at the news conference also that when rendezvous took place, you thought for the first time you might really pull this thing off. Did you have a feeling at that moment of docking that, oh my gosh, maybe we won't pull this thing off?
No, not that much. I thought perhaps I would, at worst, I would have to release the LEM and go back and initiate the docking process over again.
There wasn't any concern that damage had been done in that oscillation in the docking tunnel?
That thought flashed through my mind, but it wasn't really that bad. The vehicles are flexibly bound together, but even though they bend, there's very little chance to actually incur any structural damage which would prevent a successful docking. Glad to see that. Of course, we always have in our hip pocket the method of bringing Neil and Buzz around through an extravehicular transfer and in through the side hatch. It's a cumbersome procedure, and it would have been rather difficult with the rock boxes, but as I say, we always like to keep something in our hip pocket in the event of trouble.
Mike, I'd like to ask one just small personal question. Are you going to get tired of hearing them talk about walking on the moon before this series of tours is over?
Not at all. I'm enjoying it very much. As you know, I was over on the backside of the moon for half their walk, and I kept coming around the front side, with the what they say, what are they doing attitude, and I'm very happy to have them fill me in on those details now.
Seems to me another problem you had, or it may be a major problem for the Apollo program, is the overshoot. When you were coming in for the descent, you were several miles beyond your target. Same thing happened to Apollo 10 on its approach to the moon. Is this problem understood, especially for future flights where you'll have to make pinpoint landings into craters and places like that? Do you understand it now?
Well, I think that we knew before the flight that we would have certain difficulty in hitting precisely the center of the footprint area that we were shooting for. It's a difficult procedure to control the trajectory of the spacecraft very accurately and start the descent at the proper point over the lunar surface. But with every flight, we're improving our knowledge and understanding of that, and I think that we can expect good luck on it hitting a particular spot on the moon in the future landings.